partly why I do group crawls is that I can't control the energies that make it happen.
No.
Not completely.
No.
You know, I can't force people on the ground and make them crawl. You know, you know. So I decided, in fact, that these kinds of works, that's what they're about. They're about trying to set something in motion, and then it has a life of its own. I started doing crawls in the late 70s, solo. And even at that time, I realized that the real power was in a group, but at the time, it was just myself. It was just a leap of faith, if you will. And and it was initiated by, at the time, New York City was having a lot of fiscal problems, and there were many, many street people sleeping on the sidewalks and hallways and doorways. And I thought, what if all of these people en masse began to move as one through the city? And that would be a great rebellion. And because I thought these people are still people, they're in these bodies are the potential for action. And I thought, what if you could make that palpable to people? You know, that potential becomes actual. And also because I guess members of my family at that time were on the street. My aunt, I think, was on the street at the time, my father, my brother. And my big fear was, in the city of New York, which I think at that time was 8 million people, what if I ran into them?
Yeah.
Because that happens.
Yeah.
You know, many street people are very, they wander. You never know. So I thought, why not take this fear or this potential of my own I see my brother, my mother, my aunt, or my father lying in the gutter, and it's not a meeting of devaluation, it's a meeting of evaluation, or it's a meeting of value. When you really think about actually doing these things, it's only in the irrational that you produce a kind of sense. It's just not common sense. But in this case, it was a vision about common people. It was an idea that no matter how low down you are, you still have vitality. Crawls initially, I didn't talk. And one day a man actually accosted me on the street and forced me to talk. I don't think he knew that he was doing that. He was changing one of my rules.
When you were doing the crawl with the flower in your hand?
Yes, and this man, he was upset that a black man in a suit, this is before the Superman costume section period, and he simply said, he demanded, why are you doing this? Because he thought I was first ill or that I needed help. And he was upset that I didn't. And he was more upset because I had hired a white videographer to film it. And I was paying this man. That really upset him. Why are you doing this to yourself? Don't you know this is giving black people a bad name? And what he did was he forced me to change the rules of the work. And I think that sort of led to the Black Factory, and I realized that the work cannot be, it can be mute in a kind of protest way. That can be functional. But at a certain level, I think it has to unpack itself as much as it can. It has to, the level of interaction, the layers have to, you have to develop those layers. And one of those could be conversation.
That's why you're sitting in the middle of the road.
If you walk faster, you'll see all these crawling people.
Om det går lite fortare ser du alla som crawlar. Han var en av dem.
Good kid.